friends. One of the things that I really learnt following burnout and during recovery was the need for a healthy life balance, both physically and mentally. And one question that I would have for you is, what do you want your life to look like? Day to day, week to week, how do you want it to look? Because often we can be doing things that we don't want to be doing, and we can be doing things that we do want to be doing, but we're not doing them in the way that we want to be doing them. Let me give you an example. Before I burnt out, I was doing a bunch of things that I wanted to be doing. I was working 4 days a week. On the day off, I was studying. I was studying Monday night, Tuesday night. I was helping out at the youth at my church on a Friday night. I was attending Wednesday night, Sunday. I was trading the financial futures markets every weekday night of the week. And on the weekends, I had to be productive and was always pushing myself constantly to the maximum, every second that I could. And I found out once I burnt out, and I'd been doing that for a while, that it just wasn't sustainable. And the things that I'd really enjoyed doing and loved doing, I began to hate doing and felt resentful for doing. I'd put expectations on myself that I had to do them. And maybe for you, you have some of your own expectations or demands that other people have put on you. And you've got to really ask yourself, how do you want your days to look? I know following burnout, I had a lot of time to lie around, to sit down and to think about these questions. And while I was pushing myself, I wouldn't even give myself permission to go and climb up one of the hills near home. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to sit there and read a book one night. I wouldn't allow myself to, in case I missed out on money in the markets. And there were plenty of other things as well. So what I did is I said, how would I want my life to look day to day and week to week? And I really came up with an idea that I call the sandwich, which is, we're not guaranteed a tomorrow. So how could I live today in a way that I want to enjoy today, but I also want to be working towards a future too and moving in a certain direction. So that's the balance that I'm talking about, and that's the balance that's helped me to become so much freer and allowed me to just wake up in the morning knowing I have things to look forward to today, that I can allow myself to do fun things, to not always have to be pushing myself, but to also be pursuing goals which I'm passionate about. So that's a really important balance for me. And I think for you, you need to do the same thing. If you're going to live with the balance that you want to live with, you need to clarify what your priorities are and look at your week and say, well, what things am I doing that I don't want to be doing, and reduce those, and what things am I not doing that I do want to be doing, and make a way to put them in. It doesn't have to be every day, it doesn't even have to be every week, but start to integrate things in so that you can enjoy the now as well as planning towards the future. Because if you're leaving your happiness till once something happens, it's just not going to happen, let me tell you that. And day to day, it is so important to analyze what you're doing and what you can change. They say that 95% of our thoughts are the same as the day before, and that's really scary because it means that we're on autopilot. We're not really thinking about what do we want to be doing, how are we going to be doing things. It's just the habits and the routines that we've had. So we want to increase that 5% of thoughts by looking outside of ourselves, looking at what we actually want to do, and start to slowly implement them and change them. It doesn't have to be overnight. For example, for me, I thought to myself, do I want to be on my phone? Do I want to be watching TV and entertaining myself for hours a day? No, because it's dulling my mind. It's not going to give me the energy and the clarity to do the things that I really want to do. I don't think anyone really just wants to sit there for hours doing that. It's just a habit. And one thing I did was I said, all right, before 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm not checking any electronics at all. And I'm limiting my internet time, looking at YouTube or news or something that I want, to 20 minutes in the day. And And after 6 or 7 o'clock at night, I'm not checking anything. My phone goes away on silent, and it's not something that you're going to be able to do by discipline. You have to have a big enough why, and my why was I want to wake up with clarity in the day. I don't want to fill my mind with things first thing in the morning, and I want to go to bed in that way too. I want to be able to read a bit at night, or to think and to journal and to pray, to do a whole bunch of things that I want to do. Go to bed with a clear mind. I know I'm going to have a great sleep and wake up fresh the next day. I go to bed thinking about things that actually excite me. So what I want to say is that before we look at any of the strategies to actually increase physical energy and mental clarity so you can do the things that you want to do, you have to know what those things are, and you have to prioritize them, and you have to do things that you enjoy now if you're going to have the motivation to pursue other things going forward. And once you've done that, at least you know what direction you want to head in. That's half the battle. Once you know that, then we can look at some strategies that'll help give you the energy to do those things, because I don't think there's too much point in you having all this energy and clarity and sitting in front of the TV for 4 hours and wasting that energy, not using it on the things that you really want to use it on. So this was a big shift of thinking for me, because like I said, every moment of my day I was driving myself, but I'm glad I was forced to reconsider this, and just this one change of this balance, and actually saying, Matt, what do you want to do today? And putting those things in place and doing them. Sure, we have responsibilities and things we can't avoid, but with the time that we do have, we need to think a bit more about what we want to do. So get out your pen and paper or your laptop and write down the things that you're doing, cut out the negatives, add in the positives. Feel free to leave some comments below and ask any questions, and yeah, I hope that this is a really productive activity for you, and then we can start to touch on some of the strategies which are going to give you the clarity and the energy so that you can pursue these things passionately. Take care. If you like this video, give it the thumbs up below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos. Feel free to leave any comments or questions below, and don't forget to share with your friends.